Good morning, Scorpio. Welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning, welcome back. And for those of you who are new, welcome. So guys, I'm going to jump into it. Scorpio, this is going to be a weekend reading. Excuse me. A weekend reading for your sun, moon, rising, and your Venus. Cross watcher if that's you. Welcome to the channel as well. Discern the messages accordingly. Thank you to everybody who's liked, shared, subscribed, and commented. Booked personal reads. And for channel memberships are open. And thank you for those of you who joined me over there. So let's get straight to it, Scorpio. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're going to pick a card for each day, clarify those, see what's going on. Remember that the timing is fluid, so, the aim is for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It may come in a little differently for you, so discern that accordingly, right? Happy holidays, Merry Christmas for whatever you celebrate. I hope that your shopping extravaganzas are going well. So, yeah. 'Tis the season. All right, Scorpio, so 9 of Swords and 10 of Wands underneath. Thinking about ending particular situations, laying down the burdens of those situations, obviously, with that 10 of Wands. Let's see here. So for Scorpio, this weekend spirit, as I say that, there comes the Ace of Swords and the World card. And as I was shuffling, Spirit said, overall theme, Ace of Swords, the World card. Getting clear about what the next future endeavors are, but also what needs to have a successful completion. But they're also saying, like, as you're closing things, it's like there's different parts of this. So it's getting clarity, right? Getting clarity on certain things. So this feels internal to me. So getting clear about certain things within inside of yourself, which is probably leading to closures on the external environment for you at this time. There is a Spirit saying a resonance of truth. And you also knowing that no matter what these closures are within you, outside of you, as above, so below kind of thing, that with that, there's going to be some challenges. Like not everybody is going to have the same viewpoints that you do. The conclusions that you're drawing internally may also be ones that they're probably an uncomfortable truth. But it's also like being, as I say that, there's a Two of Pentacles. This kind of back and forth within yourself that's like, yeah, I see these things within me that may be, you could call them toxic traits. We all have them. But the two sides within you. So it's like, yes, I've been in this place for a very long time. Don't be super abrupt to close this out. And I say that because you figure the Ace of Swords is that potential beginning, right? That World card is success, completion, the end, be done with it. But we're making a really fast jump. Spirit also saying don't jump to conclusions. Don't make assumptions on something that you're not fully familiar with, and revision and discernment. I think that there are some things happening around you that you might think that you have a clear picture of. I'm not totally set that you do. Balance is going to be required during this time of transition. And Scorpio, as we know, and there's the card of discernment. As we know, it's going to take some examination. Self-examination. Spirit saying the next 2 weeks. So this is probably an energy right now that's building up. You're becoming more aware of it. I feel like there's an awareness with that Ace of Swords. So with that, I don't think that this cycle is going to take you a long time to do. To get to that quick conclusion, but also at the same time making sure that you're not drawing conclusions too quickly to something based upon thought alone. You're going to need to alchemize with some head and heart. Okay, so a card for Friday, please, Spirit, for Scorpio this weekend. King of Wands. There's two things to this, Scorpio. I feel like, on a quick note, and then we'll clarify, you and someone else could be mirroring each other in the sense of worry, strife. Is it easier to go back to things that are comfortable as opposed to pushing forward in something that doesn't feel quite as comfortable for you? It's like you're trying to, I said about that seesaw energy, right? Of like, you know, but you may not want to recognize it. I don't want to even call it a sense of denial. It's just like it's too heavy to have to look at, right? But there's also a sense of you trying to protect yourself, give yourself some kind of comfort. It's like a baby trying to self-soothe, right? It's like you're trying to self-soothe by whatever means necessary. So be careful if you tend to overindulge in things, whether it's work, addictions, patterns, behaviors, isolation. Try not to lean into that as much. Whatever fears you're facing, whatever paranoia, whatever's keeping you up at night. Some of you may not be sleeping the greatest, or you're going to bed late. What can you do to bring yourself comfort in a healthy way rather than repeating something from the past? All right, so for Saturday, Ace of Wands, 2 aces, Scorpio. Some new, Spirit saying some new initiative, a new initiative. Dog's got her toys. And then for Sunday, the Hangman. So perspective of kind of, again, that limbo feeling. Scorpio, kind of feel like you're 1 foot in, 1 foot out with yourself, 1 foot in, 1 foot out with other people. 8 of Wands. Once you pick, Wheel of Fortune, Queen of Wands. Once you pick a solid direction, I do think that things are going to pick up speed probably within the next 8 days. Again, 8 days, 2-week period. I specifically said, right, like timing could be different for all of you. And then here we're seeing, you know, while the intent is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that it is looking like this could linger around for a little while. I'll take the smaller cards. All right, so let's clarify. This King of Wands, Scorpio, you could also feel like there are other people around you that aren't being transparent today. Like, I don't know. It's kind of like something is kind of blending in, or somebody's trying to blend in to not cause a ruckus or draw attention to themselves, something to that effect. King of Swords, the Devil. Let's see. King of Swords and the Devil. All right, Spirit, what is this? Let's clarify this King of Wands, please, for Scorpio for today. 2 of Wands. There's a lot of choosing here, Scorpio, and again, with the two, as I say, 2 of Pentacles on the underneath a second time. I think that this is not just you. I think that this is also someone else, and I do think that there's a mirrored energy with this with the way this is coming in. How do I push into my happiness? What does my happiness look like? I feel like there's a lot of stop and go kind of energy. Like it's almost like somebody wanting to say something to someone, and they get in front of that person, they start to have a conversation, and it kind of veers off. So you could circle back around to it, or you could just shut it down. And I feel like there's a lot of that. I'm going to say it. No, I'm not. I'm going to do it. No, I'm not. So there seems to be a bit of hesitation that's coming in your energy for Friday. And, you know, Spirit's saying a fork in the road. So what is this fork in the road overall? What is the theme, or why is there a fork in the road? Page of Pentacles. This could be around your work. You know, Scorpio, it's finding the beauty within, and I think that it's the need to find the beauty within the situations around you too. Maybe in your partnerships, your work, your home, your family, whatever it might be. Because, you know, it's like something here has taken off in a lot of positive directions, but now there seems to be a little bit of a standstill on some things. 8 of Pentacles, continuing to work towards your happiness, towards your healing. I think that everything is kind of bridging into the other. It's kind of like all parts of life, or maybe you could dissect it into work or play or whatever. All of these things kind of seem to overlap. So one thing could be affecting another, is how that feels. But do know that it's like the optimism of the star energy that's coming in is like, I know I'm going to get through this. I know whatever this indecision is. I know whatever this this back and forth stop and go is. Like, I'm going to get past this. How does Scorpio get past this? 9 of Wands. Stay out of victim mode for one, right? Stay out of that. And put a lot of focus towards your future, what you want your future to look like. Don't get too caught up in it. But Scorpio, there's going to be a lot of nurturing that needs to be done. You could be dealing with an Aries or a Sag in this, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Aries, and Leo again, or Aries again and Leo. you're showing up in this feminine energy, trying to pull yourself out of some hurt in the past, feeling tired, exhausted. And it's, I don't know, it's, if you're connecting with somebody else in this situation, they're kind of observing you in the sense of like, so what are you going to do? What are you going to do? How are you going to do this? There could be a lot of questions around that too right now. And that could feel a bit pressurized, like something's trying to control you or tell you how you should be moving and doing. And, you know, don't take other people's opinions right now personally or to the heart, because it's like they could say, I think you should do X, Y, and Z. And I'm not saying don't listen to solid advice, but also understand the source of the information. I do feel like there is somebody else has a game plan in their head of what this looks like, whatever that means for you. So whether this is work or whatever, like they have their own objective in whatever this is. And they need you to, as I said in your weekly, like kind of play a role. You know, they need you to show up as this person or this whatever. I feel like there's resistance to that within you, or like part of you kind of crossing your own boundaries, going, is this really what I want to do? Because I don't know that I do want to do this. So, you know, there's to act or not to act under those circumstances. So with this Ace of Wands for Saturday, what does Scorpio have going on, Spirit? This Ace of Wands. 10 of Pentacles. Strength card. Some of you could really, I don't know, some of you could be struggling with your finances, and 'tis the holiday season, right? That's unfortunately a whole thing. So don't overspend. You know, the gifts that you give don't need to be monetary. They need to be heartfelt. But I think that you are needing to realize, again, how far you've come. Scorpio, think about this year. How far have you come? How much work and you know, competition that I think that you've even had with yourself in general, and then maybe even with others, right? Like, how far have you pushed yourself to get to where you're going, and needing to be more grounded in the approach as well. So for tomorrow, you know, you could be spending a lot of money. Some of you, Spirit, saying to self-restraint is necessary. So I would save, you know, be very resourceful financially. The Sun and the Nine of Cups. There is healing. Some of you could be getting some sort of bonus. Some of you could be going, you know, I've got a little extra, so I'm going to, you know, do something nice for somebody. Spirit also saying for some of you, paying forward what somebody else has already gifted you in some capacity, but also finding some sort of emotional fulfillment. And I will also say to you too, be careful that you're not emotionally spending during this season because you feel like something else is amiss. Okay, so just be very mindful of your finances right now. Spirit just said this time of hardship too. If you're having hardships, this time of hardship will come to an end. Scorpio, again, the Emperor popping up on the bottom. Hierophant coming out. So Taurus, Aries showing up here. Leo again with the Sun as well. I kind of want to say to you, there's been spiritual revelations for you, probably internally. You may be working more on towards a practice of self-discipline as well in your spiritual arena. Your beliefs too, getting back to the basics. But again, Scorpio, there is definitely somebody, and this has popped out now twice, the Emperor in the World. There's somebody around you, or maybe you're looking at this person or situation getting ready to close something out. So there's a teetering here on whether this is a marriage, a friendship, a job, a practice, I don't know, whatever. That, again, it's like somebody is like constant eyes on you. What are you doing? What are you going to do? This person almost feels aloof or disconnected, that they're not seeing your emotions, but Spirit also saying like you're not showing a lot either. So, and I feel like that back and forth too is do I, don't I? Somebody knows or has an awareness that something is coming. Probably is the end of an era, Spirit is saying. So I feel like that whole energy of yay, nay is kind of hanging in the balance. So we've got Pisces energy with the Hangman for Sunday. What is going on for Scorpio on Sunday, Spirit, please, with this Hangman? The Tower comes out sideways. I knew it. I knew it. Yeah, the High Priestess, as I say, I knew it and just realized that was a High Priestess. There's something here that's kind of Six of Cups being revealed. I will say, with the Six of Cups, something from the past is starting to show itself. And there is that hole in your gut, like, I knew this day was coming. Like, I knew, I felt it. I stayed in this hangman mode of, I don't want to do anything. Somebody could say something to you that sparks even a hint from you as to what's going on internally. And it's like, okay, I'm going to show my hand a little bit. This is the beginnings of the end, which I don't think is going to take super long to complete. It's trusting your intuition, knowing about the timing of situations as well. There's something around the timing of it. Aries, Scorpio energy here. Knowing that you're going to have to kind of take that flying leap of faith as well. Like, this is either going to go really good or really bad. And either way, I'm going to be able to navigate it all right. But I think that wounds from the past, yeah. 10 of Wands behind that. What else? 2 of Swords. So being in that in-between phase, that 2 of Wands, the 2 of Pentacles twice, that in-between phase of juggling everything is, I think, the weight of not having discussions, because there's not a whole lot of communication going on here. It's just kind of like everybody sitting in the room staring at each other. Anybody going to say anything, right? The stuff from the past is starting to come alive, because it needs to be resolved. It needs to be let go. It needs to be, deconstructed. I do feel like with this quarter turn of the Tower it's starting to come out, whatever that come out of it, of whatever this is for you. The Empress. And then the World card. Scorpio, I've seen the World card. Got it here once, and I've seen it, 3, 4? I think this might be the 4th time. 3 of Cups. You're changing friendships, changing what your divine feminine within you looks like, regardless of your gender. This is knowing that this completion is coming. It's the inevitable. And I think that the expression of the 3 of Cups here is an internal celebratory energy for you that, like, I've said this to a client the other day. When things get difficult and things that are challenging for me, I'll sit there and talk to myself and go, I can do hard things. This internal celebration, Scorpio, kind of gives me the feeling of I can do hard things. I said something I needed to say. I did something that I needed to do. I faced a fear. And you could have people, 3 of Cups, around you that are supportive of you stepping into that space. Once you get through this roadblock, Spirit's showing me the number 7. I'm going to say 7 to 9 days. 18 on the clock was 1818, so moon energy. You're going to see how quickly things are going to start to shift. But I feel like there's a looming energy in the air that Spirit's like, you can't ignore this forever. And you know that whatever this is, you can't ignore this forever. It's something that's coming. It's an epiphany. I don't really think that it's an epiphany necessarily, but the idea of a revelation, both internal with yourself and an external situation. I feel like, too, these external situations are more than just one. And that always seems to be the dynamic for you, is there's always more than one thing going on. And Scorpio, call it for what it is. You tend to be a busybody, right? Like, do this, do that, do this, do that. So you've got your social cues all over the place in different realms of life. I think for a long time, too, you've tried to separate those. Like, this is this part, this is this part, this is this part. They all are where you've had maybe a control on certain parts of your life, where that one thing was. Let's say it's your emotions that you didn't have a grasp on. It's now bleeding into the other parts of your life. So it's like an infectious disease, right? It starts to infect everything. Same deal here. Your energy, your vibration of a lack of whatever this is now bleeding into other parts of your life. And it needs to be cleaned up. You need to have the antidote for this. Okay? So, advice for Scorpio this weekend. Some of you could be dealing with illness. I picked up that deck and there's the hospital card. Some of you could be dealing with illness, having somebody else dealing with illness. I will say too, it feels like if you have a loved one that's in the hospital or has been receiving some sort of treatment, like they'll be clear to go by Christmas. Like I feel like they're leaving. Like, okay, pack your bags, you're out of here. Here's your exit papers. Thanks for your stay. You know. So I do feel like there's some positive news in that regard. Love and camera, so reminiscence of the past, of love. You know, this could very much be about how you connect to others. How you don't connect to others too, Scorpio, right? There is that past. And I talked about that Six of Cups. There is that past that's coming in. Some of you, Scorpio, may not even know what love looks like. Some of you around partnerships and whatnot could be learning to define what love is, and like once you see it for a certain preview, or once you see it that in a preview sense, you start to realize that you may not really have a clue of what a healthy dynamic looks like. Be the fool, okay? All right, advice for Scorpio this weekend. Healing heart. There you go, Scorps. I do think that you're walking away from something because it didn't have enough of what you needed, or what, like, the overall scheme of things was not the best. And sometimes, you know, it's like drawing from a blank slate. Like, you need a clean canvas to start to paint the new picture of what this next chapter looks like. And that's kind of how this feels to me. Like, in Spirit saying, don't be afraid to draw. So, whatever that means for you. Advice for Saturday. Paradise and Cupid's arrow. Have faith. Love is coming. Happiness and joy. Saturday could be a day where you are doing other things. Spending time elsewhere. Maybe there's a Christmas party. Maybe there's activities, festivities, whatnot. But I do think that somehow... and Saturday is also the solstice, the winter solstice. So maybe you are partaking in activities around that as well. But this does have a spiritual connotation to it. Spirit saying in comparison to Taurus, you are their equal and opposite, right? Or equal opposite. You may get some news Saturday too that's going to help to draw in some conclusions. But I think they're going to be on a personal level. Like, you could have an experience and somebody just says something and it's like, boom, gotcha. Okay? Advice for Sunday. Blowing a kiss. Unconditional love. Scorpio, and there literally, here comes the card of love. I think that you are cutting out this space. This is a lot of emotional energy. Proclaiming what is love to you, stating to somebody, this is how I feel. Again, that Pisces energy of being stuck in that position and that tower starting to fall. You're becoming clear. Yeah, you know, here it is too. And I'm looking at this. Cutting out separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment. Stopping that pattern of that back and forth. I think by the weekend you do have some kind of clarity going, I need time. Or maybe somebody else telling you, I need time. But there's a passion for life that's brewing, Scorpio, that I think you do need time to yourself. Because without that time to really go deep within, you're going to carry some muddled stuff with you in the future. So you'll want to kind of cut it out now. Get clear with yourself. And I think you have an experience prior to this. So maybe Saturday, maybe today, maybe it'll happen Sunday and everything else happens the following day. Again, timing is whatever. But there's something that happens that kind of gives you a taste of what that freedom on the emotional level looks like, that frees you up to go, where I've been in this space of indecision, I am becoming more clear. So roll with it. You're going to get the clarity that you need. Okay? Slowly, albeit slowly, but you're going to get there. Scorpio, I hope this was helpful to you. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Personal reads are open and available. Limited days next week, obviously, because of the holiday, but I will be happy to squeeze you in around that. And I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season. I'm sending you all so much love. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Bye.